Now, every day when I go out to the garage in the morning and I know the weather's going to be okay for a ride and I don't have too many farm chores or anything that can't wait, I really get my pulse up just a little bit more than average, and I start thinking about what it's going to be like to be out on the open road 3-4 hours, maybe 100, a little bit more miles. It really floats my boat to try to do that almost every day. And you can watch this in 4K. Now, all summer we have really been lucking out with some good weather, and today looks like it's going to be just another great day. The weatherman says no chance of rain. You believe that? And I have an FCR to sell you. Anyway, we try this time of year to get every ride we can. This is absolutely, in this part of the country, the nicest part of the whole year. You can have the morning a little bit cool, beautiful in the afternoon, and if you stay out after 2 or 3 o'clock, sometime it gets hot. But generally, every day is a riding day. And as always, you got to move bikes around. I haven't had that collection being taken up for my bigger garage. No contributions. I'm just going to have to get the exercise, get some of these bikes moved around, and get out on the open road. Boy, I don't want to miss a day like today. So every morning, pretty much the same routine in my life, almost all year long anyway, unless we have to shovel snow. Always have to move some bikes around. There's always something has to be done on the farm. Karen will always give me a little heads up as to what I have to do. And I like to do the work before I go out on the open road. But anytime I have more than one bike out in the driveway, I like to look at them both and compare them. And think about this, I bought both of these bikes brand new. I've had them both since new. One on the 4th year and one on the 41st year. And I love them both. And I love them both for their individual reason. They're both fun and they're both very different. And that's what makes having a small, humble collection of motorcycles a lot of fun. Is I don't like to ride the same bike every day, but I do like to have the right amount of air in the tires, and the times that you catch that something's wrong, it can really save your bacon. And it's just a habit that I've gotten into from my days of aviation, owning a plane, and I call it pre-flighting. I always encourage other people to do it. Not show up at a meetup with a flat tire or something else that you can fix in your shop a lot easier. Always, the fish have to be fed first. The birds have to be fed. There's always something to do in the garden. There's always we bring fresh flowers into the house almost every day. We do a little harvest almost every day. And this year has been a banner year for the garden, a banner year for Karen's flowers, a banner year for the vegetables, and we've already made 3 batches of pickles already, and it's just been a wonderful summer. And today promises to be just one more day, and I guess we could call this the endless summer. Every time I stop to take pictures or video of the bike from different angles or with different backgrounds, I always think about it. It took a full 2 years to do all the mods I wanted to do to the bike. A lot of them was painting the blue parts. When you get this bike from the factory, there's an awful lot of flat black, and I don't like any flat black. And the blue that Dennis custom mixed, and it was a perfect match. It made a lot of the little parts that normally they're flat black and you don't see them, it made them stand out. And I think the overall result is we have a unique bike, a custom bike, and Vlad got me some of the carbon fiber parts for it. I made some of the carbon fiber parts from scratch. But overall, after 2 years, I had me a very, very unique, one-of-a-kind MT09. Unfortunately, this is the only bike in my collection, my humble collection, that has a quick shifter. And to be honest, I wish I had it on all the bikes, but I know, well, maybe some of them I'll get to it someday. The problem is with everything in life, you just run out of time. There's just so many hours you have available for this. And I like to spend most of them riding. The whole reason for having a bike collection is that you can get out to the garage every day, pick a bike to ride, and if it's a day like today that's absolutely beautiful, fill up the tank and enjoy the day. And if you couldn't do that for whatever reason, I don't think I'd even bother owning a motorcycle. Now, there's a lot of things that go into me getting to ride every day. I'm retired, of course. And as I'm getting older and older, I like to ride more and more. I can't explain that. I would think it'd be the opposite, but it isn't. And I wake up in the morning, and while I'm having my coffee and breakfast with Karen and reading the paper, yep, we still do get the newspaper, believe it or not. In my mind, all I'm doing is planning out where I want to ride that day and which bike I want to ride. And some days I know exactly which bike I want to ride, and I'm dreaming about it the night before. And some days I go out to the garage and I look around and I ask the fish, and the fish usually vote for the MT09. And to be honest, I get most of the miles of all the bikes, the most miles I get on the MT09, and it has just been from day one. This bike just gets better. Now, I get emails from an awful lot of people who have MT09s or FZ09s, and the list goes on, but I just recently got one from Ramblin' Doug, who rode up to Northern Ontario and rode out to Sturgis. And I was just thinking, I have friends that have gone to Sturgis. I haven't, but how funny is it among all of the Harleys and all of the partying that goes on out there? Hey, but I guess it's fun, and that's the nice thing about motorcycles in general. Whatever floats your boat. Now, this bike has so many personalities that more than likely every time I ride it, it becomes a hooligan very quickly. But it also, you can just sit back and relax and enjoy the scenery. And if some guy pulls up to you with this bike or that bike or whatever, and you want to go through the twisties and scare yourself a little bit, you can do that. And when I go on group rides with the bike, and I've just been on a couple of group rides that were a lot of fun, you can just relax, enjoy the ride, enjoy the scenery, and most of all, enjoy the company. Now, another thing, truth in advertising, whenever I pull in for gas or somewhere where there's some motorcyclists, and they come over, we look at each other's bikes and complain about the price of gas, I always love when they ask me, well, what year is that? What? I don't remember seeing that model around. But it's a custom bike. It's a one of a kind, but it has the look like the factory might have made it. Now, we're coming up on 17,000 miles, and we're into the 4th year. It was a wonderful birthday present, and there's a long story that I've told many times on video of how that evolved. But again, Karen, as always, thank you. She bought me the RD for Valentine's Day 1 year, 11 years ago, and she bought me this 4 years ago. So she's right on track for, well, I have, I think, 7 more years, and I get another bike for my birthday. And I have to admit, getting the MT09 for my birthday was a whole lot more fun than getting some nice fresh underwear and a couple of pair of brand new socks. And in return, I'll be taking Karen to France very soon. We leave very soon for a couple of weeks in France, Paris, Normandy. We're going on a riverboat cruise. I'll be dreaming about my MT09 when I'm in France. And just the cherry on a sundae is having a Valentine radar detector to protect you from all evil. The traction control, which works perfectly. I always have it on the most invasive setting. The quick shifter, that was an accessory add-on, a little over $100. The drive modes, the ABS. When I put the Michelin 5 tires on, I think they were a nice upgrade, and they're lasting just beyond good. The carbon fiber parts from Vlad. Thank you, Vlad. And the big fact, in this day and age of having expensive gasoline, getting 50 miles to the gallon, and there's just a lot to like. I don't know how else to explain it. There's just a lot to like. And the day was fabulous. The weather was even better. The bike behaved exactly like it advertised. Turned me into a hooligan. Now I got to go back home, head back on Route 80, and go back to being a farmer. So the weather today was absolutely perfect, no chance of rain, and it actually was nice and cool, and just couldn't have a better time. And this is one of the things that makes having a beautiful day even more beautiful, is that MT09. Karen, that's a great birthday present, and we're in our 4th year. Thank you, Karen. So I hope you enjoyed sharing our little ride with us on this beautiful summer day, and thanks guys one and all so much for watching.